Hello, Dorothy. I can't speak. Hi, Karen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good.
My place is a little cold, and that's why I have my
It
my
is
warm
cold.
top on over.
I'm wearing a turtleneck.
Oh, okay, so I'm not by myself.
Nah, it's chilly out.
Yeah, I'm ready for this heat, for this cold to go away.
I think just about everyone is.
Tomorrow,
Hmm.
EST is going to be having a meeting, so and one of the DOT is going to be speaking about the area of Lincoln Park.
Okay, over there in Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully you can join that meeting
Yeah,
and
as
be
long as I'm around, then I'll join.
okay. Very good.
Hmm. We have to also talk about this dog poop story because this is becoming ridiculous. The amount of dog poop that is on the street, people are not cleaning up, and I've watched them totally. They look around to see who's looking and then they run. We have to really work on stuff like that.
Yeah, you can definitely bring that up at the EST meeting.
Yep.
Good day, Jennifer.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Hello, Mr. Thornton. How are you?
I'm doing very good, Miss Jordan. Yourself?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Hello, Dorothy.
She can't speak, but she says hello.
Oh, that's why I called.
Today should be a quick meeting.
That's all
Okay.
good.
You know, every time I say the same thing, but you know.
Mhm.
And we run off.
Good day, Fran.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing very good. And yourself?
I'm trying to maintain. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Princess.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good day, Lieutenant Polanco. Hi, Marva.
Hello.
Good day, Ms. Granville.
Good day.
Marva, keep your eyes on the road.
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
All right, we'll give it one more minute and then we'll start.
Mark,
Yes.
is this the link that I used was the one that was on the community board calendar? That's not the same one that was on the flyer that you sent out, is it?
That flyer that was sent out was a test. Public safety was the guinea pig for this new platform that they're going to be sending out. So they'll improve it as time goes on. But they was just using our meeting as a test.
Okay.
So
Well,
I didn't use that link. I used the link that the first link that they sent out.
right, the board calendar, because I noticed that the links were different. And the one that they put on the flyer, it was not easy for me to use it anyway. So I said, let me use the community board 8 one.
Yes. They're just testing it out. How everything goes is there's always a need for improvement, and the community board and we as a whole will improve it.
Okay. Stop
And
smiling,
thank you.
Marva. And listen, you look like you want to laugh. Go ahead. I noticed the new link too, and I was like, what is this? And proceeded to go to the community board website. Okay. Mark, did you get a link from Hakeem Jeffrey's office about an art contest for high school students? I just got it forwarded from you.
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm gonna forward it to you because I forwarded it to Marva and to Nora. Okay.
Thank you.
And hello, guys. The NNACP, they're doing application. This was. Have anyone received that information?
There's an echo with your audio, Princess. I didn't get anything from NAACP.
Did you?
I did not.
Okay, I'm gonna share the link to everyone, and it's for high school. Okay, we'll speak about it later. If Mark, I'm gonna ask Mr. Thurman for a chance to speak on it.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
It is 6:19. We're going to start our meeting. Thank you guys for joining our public safety meeting. Today is April the 25th. Geez, time is flying by. April 25th, 2022. It's like what is this? This is like the end of the first 1/3 going into the second 1/3 of the year. Yes, Marvin, I'll be looking at it like that, But thank you guys for joining. We have Lieutenant Polanco. Thank you for joining with us again. It's really nice seeing you again. I see you changed your screen, huh? That other one wasn't working well?
Yeah, I had to change it because the computer wasn't. That's why it took me a while to log on. It was giving me trouble logging on.
All right. Welcome again for our public safety meeting.
Good evening, everybody.
As I mentioned, guys, this should be a fairly quick meeting, as we always say, but this one here should be. But what we're gonna do, hi Lisa, thank you for joining. What we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with our 77 precinct report. The next meeting we'll also invite the 78th precinct to give an update of what's going on for the 78th and the 70. They're going to be doing their portion, but that'll be for the next meeting. Lieutenant Polanco, you want to give us an update of our progress for this?
Sure.
For last month?
All right, sure. Good evening, everybody. So overall for the year, shootings are down 4 versus 11 compared to last year. Unfortunately, 4 is still 4 too much. Our most recent shooting was in Kingsborough Houses. Shot one time in the arm. Thankfully, he survived. He's in stable condition. We're looking for more information on the shooting, though. If anybody does have any information, if they could please come forward. You could please reach out to the detective squad. Just call the precinct number and just press 2 on the voice prompt, and it'll send you over to the detective squad. You could also reach out to Crime Stoppers if you want to provide anonymous information. The number for that would be 1-800-577. Looking at our crimes, we're up overall by 31 28-day period. The one that stands out the most is grand larceny. For those that don't know, grand larceny are property that's taken, valued over, or property or money taken by. Taking a deeper look into the grand larcenies, majority of our grand larcenies are due to scams. Some of these scams that we get are like rent scams, where someone looks at a vacant apartment, they pick it up for rent, they apply to like a listing, but the person is showing them the apartment, the lease is not have permission authority to that apartment. Person goes ahead and gives cash, and then when they go try to move in, the actual landlord, sees them and is like, "Hey, I don't know, move in here." That's one of the ones that we had. Another type of scam that we had was like receiving phone calls, saying like a family member's in jail to send, or also phone call from like
Mr. Please mute your computer. Mr. Atkins, please mute.
Mr. Atkins, did you read that? Okay, thank you. So another type of scam that we had is phone calls impersonating a law enforcement agency, where they say if you don't send money over, then there'll be a warrant out for your arrest. Also receiving text messages. I don't know if anybody has gotten those type of text messages where it looks like it's from a bank or something like that, where it tells you to click the link, and when you go click the link, you put in your information. Now your account is compromised, and they'll have access to your account. Another type of scam that we received, the Con Edison scam, where someone making believe they're an agent of Con Edison or National Grid or any type of electrical company that you would have. They'll say that your electricity is going to be cut off if you don't send money over by a certain time, and that's another type of scam. The numbers might look real, these phone calls and all that. Some of these numbers are spoof numbers where the numbers appear to be legit, but it's really apps and stuff like that, where apps that could be used where they could change the phone number to something that it really is. Best way to protect yourselves from these scams is just simply hang up the phone and call up the actual company of who they're claiming to be, and verify with them if you actually do owe money or anything like that. And you'll see majority of the times it was all a scam. So that's what we have from 7/7 right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just want to, with reference to what you just said about the real estate scams.
Yes.
New York State has started something where all offices have to declare on their websites or wherever what they require from everyone. And I believe that when people, the only reason why you're going to get scammed is because you're not checking call the office of the realtor. Even though many people have set up fake things, you can also go up to New York State website where they have everybody's license, and you can put the person's name or office in and see if they have a legitimate license. So I think people just have to start paying attention to stuff like that.
Yes, I 100% agree. That's actually a really good resource. Like I said, if anything doesn't seem right, like you said, best way is reach out to the actual real estate company. You know, or if it's a phone call, just hang up the phone, or if it's a text message and it doesn't look any type of text message you would receive where it's asking for your credentials, just delete that message right away. There's no company that's going to be sending you a link asking for your login information. That's should be a red flag right away.
Thank you for that extremely helpful information. I must say that I've received text request from the bank asking me to touch something to link into their website. So that is pretty rampant going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I myself have received many of those text messages, and what I do, just delete it right away, because I don't want anybody to accidentally, you know, let's say my daughter or anybody checks my phone and accidentally clicks it. I mean, you would have to actually put in your information for them to have access to it, but you just don't want to have it in your phone.
Yes, very good. Thank you for that information. Anyone has any questions in reference to our report? Lieutenant, we have some concerns. I'm quite sure you guys are aware of this this location, St. Mark's Park. You know, some people have voiced their concerns about that location. You know, it's come to even a point that some people are so discouraged of what's going on that they wanted to remove the park. But you know, hopefully that's not the case. You guys have any update on some kind of progress or what can be done with that park?
Is this about the hangouts and stuff like that? Is that what you're referencing?
Yes. I mean, not just the hanging out. Yeah, I guess that's part of their concerns.
So we are aware of it. We do periodically always drive around there, take a good look, make sure nothing's going on. It is on our list. One of the places that we always look out for. You know, we're looking to take quality life enforcement. You know, just any way to try to help everything out and help the situation.
I mean, with that park also, it's you're not able to drive through it. Do you guys do walk through that park?
So it is a small park where we could drive from either side and we'll be able to pretty much see. Sometimes if it's safe, we'll be able to drive through as well. We have a post sometimes that it's right across the street. They're able to see it. So we are aware of it. We do go through there. As far as an actual foot post on there, we don't have a foot post on that location, but we do always drive by, and we're able to look all the way through the park and see what's going on. And if anything's going on, we'll take action.
All right, thank you. I see that we have representative from the 43rd Precinct Assembly District join us.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you all. Raul Rothblatt here. I did want to mention that we are having an iftar tomorrow night on Nostrand Avenue. We're going to break the Ramadan fast at the Kautar Mosque on Nostrand and Park, which is, I know there's problems, some shootings and stuff on Nostrand, but I want to emphasize the positive things. This will be a multi-faith event, so it's going to be kosher according to the Chabad sensibilities. It'll be halal, and we would be overjoyed to see other people there from the community. I will hopefully I can attach a flyer or something, but sorry, it's on Wednesday night. The meal is at 7:49 p.m. So it's a very specific time that the meal ends. But if you can get there around 7:15, that would be great. I don't want to hold up the rest of the discussions, but I hope to stay in touch with everybody. Again, my name is Raul Rothblatt. I'm the Director of Community Affairs for Assembly Member Brian Cunningham, representing the 43rd Assembly District.
Thank you for joining. And you said that is going to be Wednesday, not tomorrow. That's
yeah,
Wednesday?
Sorry. Wednesday, the 27th of April.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Maybe I might do a stop by.
I'm sorry, what was the location for that event?
The location is the mosque, Kautar Mosque at Nostrand and Prospect. It's on the, what is that? It's on the
Nostrand and, I think it's Nostrand and Park.
Nostrand
Right
and Park, Nostrand and Park Place.
Yeah, not too far from Urban Supermarket. Yeah.
Seafood.
Okay. Thank you for that information. Yeah, I'll see if I could come on by. Ms. Granville, maybe you could, you hang out with me. We go walk over there. You never know.
Maybe, Mr. Thurton.
It's Miss Granville neighbor.
I will be there, Mark, celebrating.
All right, Fran. Okay. All right. So you have a couple of people that's going to be hanging out on Wednesday night.
Wonderful. I really look forward to it. It really makes me happy to see people coming out.
Right. Thank you for that information. I thought I saw Desmond. Desmond, you on the call?
They said he left.
Oh, he left?
Yep.
All right, Desmond. All right. Did we have any other concerns that Roger, you got anything going on in the area?
Not much. We do have not so much. We do have a new store that has opened up for alkaline type of food on Bergen Avenue, 1031 Bergen Avenue.
Bergen Street or Bergen Avenue?
Bergen Street.
Street.
And it used to be Greedy Vegan, but then that must have died off and she may have left the location. So another young lady has come and she's selling watermelon with seeds, also possibly soursop fruit. There's a small market, so it's a very, very small location, but she's just opened and we're wishing her the best at the moment. Not much else is going on, but other new businesses are starting on Nostrand Avenue. So in the future, we have, I believe it's 609 Nostrand Avenue, and they're going to be an event space. So property that used to be a bike repair shop, and now they're going to be an event space. So there's a potential for future meetings there as well, because I know the police are going to have a meeting more than likely this summer at Bergen Street in the garden. So there may be another location where we could have it indoors if necessary.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, 609 is where where the old bike shop is. Okay, that's on
Nostrand near.
That's on the east side. Yes. Okay. Okay. Very good. All right. Thank you for that update. Last month we had a very good meeting. We had a joint venture, public safety, youth and education, housing, economic development, and there was another committee that was involved, Parks. Yeah, it was very good. We had our city council representative, Hudson and O'Shea participated. They weren't able to stay long, but it was very good. You know, that they expressed their concerns and they expressed their commitments to the community, and it was very productive. And we'll definitely follow up on that, and maybe even do another meeting. But our planning committee, you know, we'll plan out some other stuff that we plan on doing. Mr. Atkins, welcome back. Anything you have to say, my co-chair? Can't hear you, Desmond.
He's muted.
You're still muted, Desmond.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Now we can.
Okay, earlier you guys asked me to mute and I wasn't saying anything, so I had to No, I don't have anything to add at this time, Mark.
Okay. Yeah, we went over briefly. I'm not sure if you was on the call. We went over briefly St. Mark's Park. That was brought
I
up.
heard about scams. I heard some things about scams, but just keep moving along.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Princess? Oh, Princess, you wanted to say something?
I added to the link, but on Nostrand between Bergen and St. Mark's, there's a bike shop there, and it's okay that there's a bike shop, but I think now they're taking over the sidewalk and they're taking over the park, the area where the bus stops. So, and it's not summer officially. And yesterday they had, like, I was standing on Flatbush and Atlantic, I know somewhat, and they had like 25 bikes doing wheelie in the middle of Flatbush and Atlantic. So I don't know if we have to keep an eye out for these. You know, there are bikers club who are doing the right thing, but our young people, they're like their backs. They had young ladies sitting on the back of these vehicles, and these bikes and these young lady backs were touching the streets. Yeah.
That the location, that bike shop that she's referring to on Nostrand in between Bergen and St. Mark's, it has a lot of bikes over there. During last summer, there was a concern. They had a shooting and a murder within that establishment, and you know, it has been a concern. Several people have voiced their concerns about all of the hanging out at that location and all of the bikes that's sitting in front of that shop.
And it's not officially summer, and it was very crowded. Literally the bus had to stop in the middle of the street because they actually took over the bus could not pull into the park where it normally stops. So, you know.
Yes, so Lieutenant, you know, that's someplace that, you know, we can definitely look out for, please.
Yeah, I actually know which spot you're talking about. It's actually 662 Nostrand. It's a bike shop. I myself have helped because we have received in the past regards. I have spoken to the workers. Most of the people that are there are waiting to do repairs at the shop for the e-bikes. I did speak to them. They have to try to do schedule, like take appointments like that, so that we could prevent that from happening. You know, and I'll go ahead and follow up and see if there's been any improvement since. But I am aware of it. I've gone there myself, spoken to the owner. It's not their bikes. People are coming in. It looks like a big hangup, but majority of the people are actually waiting to get repairs and stuff like that. But I'll follow up on that a little better.
Yeah, that's well appreciated. Yeah, if they can have appointments, it'll be better. It'll be better for them. It'll be much better for the community, because that is a concern that that location, Nostrand Avenue, and we have a lot of people that like to walk by that shop because of all that activity that's going on at that location.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other things? Lisa, you have anything?
Just have a question for Lieutenant Polanco. You said there was a shooting in Kingsborough. Where was it?
The shooting was on Pacific and
Hello?
yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Please repeat that.
Pacific and Rochester.
Yes, can I?
Only the first and second one.
Hey, Desmond, need for you to mute yourself one more time, but don't come off.
I'm not saying a word.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm so late. It took me almost 15 minutes to get on.
Good day, Janet.
And once again, I don't see my name on the screen. This is the second time, but you all can see my name.
Yes.
Ms. Collins, it's for everybody. I can't see mine as well, but we can see yours.
How come? What happened?
I have no clue.
Well, I'll touch base with the community board and see what they say. That maybe something happened with this new update that they did a couple of months ago.
Okay, thank you.
I see everybody's name and mine. Just to let you know.
Sometimes it has nothing to do with, sometimes your system, when your system updated, sometimes that will cause the problem, because when my phone updated, I get that same problem. So you need sometimes have to go back into your system and rename yourself. I don't know why, especially
Yeah.
iPhones.
It's not I'm not on the phone. I'm on my computer, and I haven't done anything to update my side. So
Okay, I'll touch base with the community board in reference to that.
thank you.
Kim, you have anything? Jordan's? Oh, coming to you right now, Desmond.
Nothing at this moment.
Okay, Desmond?
Yes, in relation to people working on bikes and people clicking, meaning that there are large congregations of young men and them blocking places. Kingston Avenue between Bergen and St. Mark's, they are working on bikes there, restaurant. Around the corner at 1292 Bergen Street, the owner of the property came and tried to clean out bikes because they also will.
You're fading out.
So this is a bus route, the B65 going west, and there was a restaurant there. Thank goodness the restaurant is closed, but there's still a lot of congestion at that spot. So now it's basically just the precinct going westbound. You no longer have the. I don't believe the fire department is still there. The safety too. But you still have a lot of congestion and a lot of unsafe driving. Because of vehicles and the FedEx trucks there also. So it gets a little bit crazy. But basically, it's about people congregating and double parking on Kingston Avenue. Bergen intersection has had a lot of accidents. They marked it off so that people have to make a very wide left turn, but there's still the potential for vehicular accidents and pedestrian accidents. Thank you.
Thank you, Desmond. I did see that they did put that little obstacle on the road at that turning section. Okay. I was going to ask something.
That's been there for months, but there are still several vehicles that don't observe it. They don't go in as far out as the lines on the ground, ask you to. And I know people who were struck there by vehicles making the sharp turn.
Okay. Thank you, Desmond. Tamika, you good?
I have a few situations. One, I have submitted 301 requests about the street light on the corner of St. Mark's and Franklin for the past 3 months. It is still dark to this very day. That's one. Two, is there some kind of, I don't even know if I should even address this to this committee or talk to someone in the transportation committee. My main corridor, Franklin Avenue, is like Times Square all day long. Bumper to bumper traffic all day long. There really isn't no new traffic pattern. I can't even call it. I don't know what to, I don't know what to say about that. And
That's Franklin Square.
all the way up Franklin, from Atlantic Avenue to Eastern Parkway.
They have a lot of those restaurant hubs out there.
I don't even know what it is. I literally, yesterday I was on my way somewhere. I thought I had missed the Brooklyn half marathon. I had to get out of my car and walk 3 blocks up to get a coffee, get back in my car, and then continue on to my travels. Outside of yesterday, Franklin Avenue is like Times Square all day long. Like, I don't even, last 2 Thursdays ago, there was an emergency vehicle trying to get up Franklin Avenue, get to an emergency, and couldn't. It was deadlocked. It's like gridlock every day. I don't know if I don't know. So that's why I'm not sure if it's a 77 precinct issue or should bring this up to somebody in the transportation committee. But I know it did. I know 2 years ago, 2 or maybe even 3 years ago, it went from a 2-lane corridor to a 1-lane corridor because it's a shared lane. Well, it's a bike lane now, as well as now the street, the restaurants are in the street. But if somebody's in the other end, if somebody's up on Lincoln trying to get an ambulance and they're down here on Atlantic Avenue, they're gonna die, unfortunately, because it's ridiculous. And it's even to the point to where all the cross streets crossing Franklin get stopped because you can't even go through. So I don't know, maybe when the when they bring the traffic cops, I don't know, but it's really bad along the Franklin Avenue corridor. And the lighting, the street lights are not working. And I've even got my my request sent back to me saying I was doing something in error. I literally stood at the light pole and had it mark where I was to put it in, and it comes back an error every time. I don't even know at this point, I don't even know what to say.
What time of the day is that, Tamika?
Excuse me?
What time of the day are you seeing that?
What, the traffic?
Traffic, yeah.
All day long. You can, anytime after 10 o'clock, anytime at 10 o'clock in the morning, from 10 to about 8 o'clock, it's like that all day long.
Because I walk up Eastern Parkway, not to contradict you, but I keep on walking up Eastern Parkway, and I can see real clear down. I don't see the traffic. And I
come down Franklin. I'm on St.
But
Mark's.
I look down Franklin, and it's like, it's so empty. So that's why I'm wondering what time.
Tamika, I was talking about from driving at home.
That, I mean,
it's horrible on Atlantic going up. It is.
Well, if
I don't know what I'm seeing, but I actually was saying to myself, gee, that's odd. maybe maybe more I'm thinking of this last week and a half or something like that.
Oh, everybody's out of town. No, don't count this last week.
Yeah, maybe.
The school was out, a lot of people left. But on a normal, and the weekend, forget about it, because it moves all the traffic off of the Vanderbilt Avenue because of the open streets
I know
events. They move, at all the traffic, and it's enough space on this side of Brooklyn, but it's from about 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. It's midtime. Like, you come outside right now, you could imagine, if I go outside right now, you hear horns, and it's just dead gridlock. It's like it feels like Christmas time outside on Franklin Avenue every day.
Part of it I noticed is because, the delivery trucks with the new store. I think there's a supermarket that opened on recently, that food store on the corner of Pacific near Franklin, I think, or somewhere around there. I think the delivery trucks, I noticed that some of them double park, and people aren't really paying attention. Everybody wants to get to the same place at the same time and the same thing. And that is part of the bottleneck because there's a lot of double parking. And the restaurants sitting on the street, I don't know about everybody, but I think it's time for them to go because it's not helping our traffic situations. I even don't drive much anymore because I'm tired. I usually drive into Manhattan and Harlem. These days I go I don't have time for this madness. I'm jumping on the train.
Well,
That's what they're trying to get you to do.
We'll see if we can have the 77 precinct address the double park cars, and in reference to those open streets, you can definitely come to the EST meeting and address your concerns at that meeting, and hopefully they can shed some light on that. Mr. Atkins?
Yes, I'm going to bring my hand down. Mark, if you remember, this was brought up about 2 years ago at the EST meeting, and I commented at the time that it was New York Avenue. Oh, no, excuse me, Brooklyn Avenue. But it's basically all the southbound avenues. And what it was that DOT made it in CB9 and then came and said that they wanted to make changes in CB8. They didn't really make any allocations as far as the cross flow in conjunction
Desmond,
with
we
Vision
only get
Zero.
half of your message.
So you have
Desmond,
the roads going from 2 lanes to 1 lane and a bike lane, and basically all the traffic has been going southbound, has been functioning this way that Tamika describes. Notice that I didn't complain about Kingston Avenue, which is going northbound. And in the past, I've spoken about the traffic on Rogers Avenue being excessively fast and people riding in the bus lane, and that's going northbound also. The traffic flow going southbound is where bottlenecks occur, and as Tamika correctly stated, then you have cross flow east-west problems at every block. And this is exacerbated because delivery trucks, and you have all of these open streets, which is blocking off major streets, which was never planned for, but now for people's convenience. The streets have been slowed down from 25 to 20, and then you have entire areas that are
we're losing
Central Brooklyn.
Yes.
From Eastern Parkway. Please allow me to finish, Mark. You can't go straight through on any block going from east to west because it's been engineered so that there's always an impediment, a physical barrier, be it St. John's, the NYCHA houses, the home for the children, everything going from Eastern Parkway as you come off the Jackie Robinson going to downtown. Somewhere there's a block that stops you going straight through. So architecture so that nobody can come and march in time of war. But now in time of peace, traffic doesn't flow, and they've slowed the traffic down even more. And so this was brought up at least 2 years ago at the EST meetings, and DOT basically said, you don't know what you're talking about. We're the engineers. We have this under control. That's the way it can be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that subject matter has to be taken up with the EST meeting.
Yes, tomorrow night.
It's also funneled On the Hill is also closed off during the week.
Right.
Remember that. And
But-
when I spoke about that at the
No.
town meeting that they had, what's his name? This guy who seems to know everything. What's his name again? Who's on every committee? What's his name? I can't remember his name. He seems to be the one who knows about zoning, knows about everything, the closing
Mr.
off of
Baconi?
Give Baconi.
Yes.
Give Baconi.
And him and the DOT fought me when I said,
Okay.
why are you closing off on the Hill? It's not a busy traffic street. So this is why you're getting, Franklin. Everything is being funneled because we have it locked off during it. I don't understand it.
The EST meeting is tomorrow
Yes.
at the same time. We can definitely address those concerns with that meeting. I think DOT will participate, so that can definitely be brought up to the EST meeting. I mean, in reference to to the public safety from the 77 precinct, I mean, they can enforce the double parking on that strip. But in reference to the flow and the closing of the streets for open streets, that's definitely has to be addressed with the EST committee.
Tamika.
One second, Tamika. I have three callers on. Callers with the 347 and the last two digits of 88. Could you please identify yourself, please?
Hi, it's Kim Robinson.
Kim. Okay, and 9173, last digits of 02. 917, the last digits of 02. And the third caller, the 917, last digits of 54.
Yes, my name is Matt. I'm a resident on Washington Avenue.
I'm sorry, please repeat that.
My name is Matt, and I'm a resident that lives on Washington Avenue.
Welcome.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. Thanks for joining. Do you have any concerns that you wanted to speak on or be addressed?
I do, and you know, I've lived on Washington Avenue for many years, and my complaints for like the past two, since Open Streets has been, you know, started, is that the traffic on Washington Avenue has been insane. And, you know, I have two small children, and, you know, I get them on the bus at like, you know, 4:30 or so, and it's like gridlock going south on Washington Avenue. And I've seen at least a dozen cars, not at the same time, but, you know, go left of center and speed down the block, like 2 blocks, to get ahead of the traffic. And I just can't imagine anybody like trying to cross the street at that time and getting smacked by a speeding car just to get ahead of the traffic. I think there needs to be more police. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is definitely a concern. Well, I can't speak, or the police could speak on that part, but they can't be every place. However, this discussion that was brought up in reference to the congestion and redirecting traffic to other areas and making it unsafe for other areas and congested for the other areas, that's extremely important for you guys and for us to take it up at the EST meeting, because at those meetings and the presentation that's being done by DOT, it seems like everything is okay with the surrounding areas, and it was really not a big impact on the community. However, with that, it's extremely important for the voices to be heard at the EST meeting and at the meetings that they have with that Open Streets, which they should have it open for those meetings for everyone to participate. Yeah.
Can I say something?
I had my hand up.
One second. But Matt, if you go onto the community board website, the EST meeting is on there for the 4th Tuesday of the month, and that meeting will be tomorrow. And I really hope that you can participate in that meeting and voice your concern. Okay?
I'll be there. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Matt?
Nope, that's it. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you for joining, and stay on for the call for us.
Will do.
Janet?
Yes, I would just like to say that I hear you, Mark, are directing people to the ESP meeting, and voices have been expressing, loudly against these open streets and open restaurants, but nothing happens with those voices. People are moving on with that agenda. So, just coming to voice your opinion, it's ignored because there's a certain agenda that's being pushed. You can talk to your blue in the face. I'll be perfectly honest, and things just progress. So that's not coming to voice. Something else has to happen because we see the evidence of what's going on with these open streets and open restaurants, but it still keeps progressing. So you sit on that committee, which I'm a member of that committee, you voice your opinion, and, things go on as usual. And I don't know if we're not speaking loud enough or there's not enough opposition. I don't know what it is. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you, Janet. I'm fully aware that you voiced your concerns at those meetings, but again, we have to direct those voices to that meeting and also to the community board. If you're not satisfied with what's going on with the committee, you can also take it over to the community board.
Yes, and that committee has operated like that for quite some time. When residents come, they voice their opinion, but the chairperson and whoever else has an agenda, and that's pushed. I'm speaking on it. And some people don't want to speak on it. They want to speak behind the doors, but I'm speaking out.
And that's what the platform is for.
People call me up talking about the same thing, but I don't hear them pushing on that in the meeting. So that needs to be addressed there because that committee, I think, is, a little bit out of control.
That is part of a community board, and that is part of everyone involved for the voices to be heard. So we'll definitely, I look forward to have you at the meeting tomorrow. Thank you, Janet, for all your concerns and more importantly for your voice to be stepping up.
Mark.
Ms. Granville?
Oh, Ms. Granville.
Hello, Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tamika said that she had registered some complaints, and I wanted to know, did she send the complaints or did she speak to Ms. George in the office about the complaint she had? Because I'm under the impression that when they give you a complaint number, if you don't see any action, you could forward those numbers to the community board office. The other thing I wanted to say is that since we have a mechanism where people can join the committee and vote, even though they're not board members, it might be a case where those people are able to basically get their priorities through at the expense of the people who are actually there. And that is why, even though Ms. Collins was saying it doesn't make a difference, a lot of those things were put in place prior to COVID. And since COVID has come and is still here, those things should no longer apply. And I hate to say this, but some of these folks from the city agencies don't live here. And they don't live in our neighborhood, so they don't know what problems we have.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Granville. Princess?
You know what? Okay, I remember a friend who was a supervisor and he works on the 45 line. And he would call me and he go, Princess, what you guys have done? I'm like, what? Because blocking off Vanderbilt, it affects the B45.
I'm sorry, Princess, is this a transportation concern or a safety related concern?
Yes, it is. because he
Okay.
was speaking about having the problem with the B45, and he's a supervisor at the end, and the drivers are complaining because they cannot, because of the safe street that happening, the open street. So it affects us when we are waiting for the 45 going and coming in both directions, because a lot of the traffic have to divert from that block, so they are coming on a lot of blocks that the buses run on. So that needs to be addressed. We can't complain that our buses are late, but we want to open streets 24/7. It eventually gonna spill back into the community where it affect the buses and transportation. Thank you.
Yes, and, and you're right, and everyone is right, because this does come back to the public safety, where that when people are so frustrated with slow traffic, they become more aggressive to try to get through traffic, and then at those points it becomes unsafe for the pedestrian. So it is a concern, and that does come back over to public safety. So you are all correct on that matter. Mr. Atkins, I see your hands raised again.
Thank you for recognizing me. I want to go back to the point that this was brought up more than 2 years ago, but let's be clear. The open streets was advocated by the folks and also the chair of the.
Your voice went out.
On their end of the community.
Desmond, can you repeat what you said? Your voice keeps going in and out, so we only get half of what you are saying.
Well, okay, that's what's been happening. I hope you can hear me clearly now, consistently. Something is the matter with my phone lines. It's been more than 2 years, and the problem with safety in the streets, the open streets affects this. But that was instituted the 20 mile per hour west of
Gone again.
Hey, Desmond, take off your video. That might help a little bit.
And that was loudly championed, but there was no feeling or no thought as to how it would affect the entire area and the core of CB8. The other thing that was brought up by Matt on Washington Avenue, I have children who attend B16, children, and I can tell you that with CNR, which that was the old name, the Bell Funeral Home, the fire department around the corner on St. John's, Parkway, and Washington. There was always, I'm not causing that. I'm not causing that. There is a tremendous amount of standing traffic, and I've seen times when police vehicles, ambulances, and fire trucks were unable to move on Clausen Avenue. I brought this up 2-3 years ago regarding Brooklyn Avenue, that when they made these changes, safety vehicles, and that is police, fire, and EMT, would be unable to navigate the streets. And all it would take is one really bad block, and you people could lose lives. That went by the way. So now we're dealing with this, and everybody is seeing this now. And this is a safety issue. Lieutenant Polanco, I know it's going to hurt a lot of people, but take north-south avenues when they double park during those key hours. And if one police plaza or Brooklyn North needs to know this, the other thing that people can do that somebody pointed out to me,
you're losing you again.
The most effective way, one of the new effective ways, is Twitter, social media. And you tweet your complaint in, And every department and every private concern has a social media director, and they generally respond to that much more quickly. So if you need to get a bunch of people and let them all tweet, and I know that I don't know what's going to happen with Twitter now that Elon Musk bought it today. But up until now, that has become probably the most effective way of.
Okay.
Twitter has gone private. He's taking it private. So let's
When you
take
have a
that out of the
problem.
equation.
I didn't hear you, Tamika.
No, that's
Go ahead,
me,
Desmond.
Karen, saying that Twitter has now gone private. Elon is taking it private. So let's forget
Yes,
about
I know. Until you see something bad happen, that is still a major means that people will be communicating. I understand 44 billion he bought it today. Unless you have when they start using TikTok, people can use TikTok. But for now, Twitter is the means of getting through. But these are traffic and it's severe bottlenecking of traffic. And I mean, sometimes it's like Tamika said, it's like it's like Times Square, it's all day long. The street narrows into a single lane. Coming across from Bedford-Stuyvesant, it's still almost two-lane traffic. But when you get there, it narrows. So that's a natural bottleneck right there. And then it goes from residential or semi-residential to strictly, almost strictly commercial. That there are businesses on every block. And no one's taking that into assessment about the kind of traffic that's going to want to go through there. And no one is putting the proper amount of policing out there, traffic policing, to make people keep moving. There actually probably need to be foot people directing traffic at certain places. But the city seems to be moving away from that. And the person to address that is our mayor, who said that he wants to make the streets safe.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. Definitely police traffic directors is definitely needed in our community. Is there any way that we can have additional traffic directors in the congested areas, or you guys ever thought about that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not hearing anything.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'll bring that up as far as like the double park cars and all that. That's something that I'll pass along to the officers and the traffic officers so that they can keep an eye on it. Either pushing people forward, telling them to move the car, or giving tickets, whatever means necessary in order to open the flow of traffic. However, with the open streets and all that, any congestions that is in regards to that, it's going to be difficult for us to do anything about that. The way it seems, like Washington Avenue, Franklin Avenue, it's multiple streets that have these congestion problems that are being affected by open streets and stuff. We wouldn't be able to do anything with that. As far as if it is double parked or anything, we could do something about that. But if it's anything because of the street closures, we won't be able to have any control over that.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mark had put in,
yeah. Thank you very much. Again,
Marva had put a
we
note
have to
in the chat.
address
Did you see her
concerns.
note about a city
Could
council
you?
hearing on May 12th?
Yeah, I see that, but there is no details on it though, in reference to a link. Maybe we can get that and send that out to the committee. Yeah, that should be directed with Transportation Committee, but it is a public safety, so we once we get that link, we'll send it out to our committee.
Okay.
Farrah?
Who?
Hello, it's Ferris.
Yes.
I have a question for Lieutenant. What about TEAs, the traffic enforcement? They can't get anyone to come out there to do the ticketing. I mean, I know sometimes the police officers can't because you might be short-handed, but no one can get the traffic enforcement out there to do these tickets.
You're coming in and out?
I was saying, can they get the traffic enforcement people to come out and do the tickets?
They're already out there. They're already driving around. They have traffic agents on foot.
Farris,
walking
you're
around.
coming in and out. We can hardly hear you.
Okay.
There seems to be something wrong with this whole system, though, because I hear Ferris good, and I don't know.
I hear it well too.
If this is a new system that the community board is using, maybe there's just a flaw in this technology.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, I can't see myself for 2 meetings. I can see myself on the participant list, but I can't see a box with my name.
Right.
And it seems like, Mark, you're thinking you can't hear Ferris when I can hear her perfectly well. And then someone else is talking, you think it's Ferris. And Desmond is having a problem. So I think there seems to be some problem with the technology. We can investigate that.
Can I refer to? I had my hand up. I was about to say the same thing as her, Ferris, but
Yes, Miss Lisa, you can. Yes, go ahead.
So I know what Lieutenant Polanco just said, but also being that I used to be a traffic enforcement agent myself, you call Brooklyn North Command. If you call them and you make enough complaints to the command, they have their post. So what they'll do is they'll put more people on that post, and then if it becomes an issue, like for you say, if there's a lot of double parkers on those areas, they'll send more agents over there to regulate that. Because I know they can't send the officers over there. That's not what they're supposed to be doing. That's what the traffic enforcement agents are supposed to do. But if you call the Brooklyn North Traffic Enforcement Command on Chapel, they will send people out to that area more. So those are if the community starts making complaints directly to them, they have their reports that they make as well. Like they're not going to if they're not getting any complaints from the community, they're not going to send people over there, because every morning they make they make their whole post for their tours, and then they send people out. So if no one is making complaints for that area, they're not going to send that many people over there. They believe me, they have enough. They'll send a bunch of people to work Fulton Street, but they won't send anybody to work the other streets. So that's what I'm saying. If you call the command directly to, not just the 77th precinct, if you call the Brooklyn North Command, they will literally, what they'll start doing is they'll start redirecting their people to the areas that are getting these higher complaints as well.
Got it.
Thank you, Lisa. In reference to that contact information with Brooklyn North, if you're able to obtain that,
North,
just let us know, and we'll send it out to the group.
Okay.
Thank you. And Ms. Ferris, did you finish what you had to say? I see your hands back up again.
Oh, no. Oh, look, I forgot to lower it. I'm sorry. No, I don't have anything else. Lisa actually helped out with that. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, we have a real.
You're welcome.
We have a real.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like if someone had like the cars and stuff like that. Like if you needed a tow, you couldn't. If you don't always have to necessarily bombard the precinct 77 precinct with those things. You can call up the Brooklyn Tow Pound. You can call Brooklyn North or Brooklyn South, depending on where you are, because they do take those calls. So if they will get on there and dispatch somebody over to that area. So it's not always that, let the police the things they need to do, and then send the traffic enforcement agents to the areas that they need to do. That's what they enforce, the parking violations, traffic violations. Send those people there instead of sending the officers to somewhere, whereas they may not know how to. Be very honest, Lieutenant Polanco be laughing at me. Sometimes some of the cops don't know how to write the tickets properly, whereas traffic agent know how to write that ticket fast and be in and out. So
True,
that's who
true.
you
That's
send
true.
over there.
You're
You
right.
send the
You're
people
right.
that get there, and that will stop people from double parking as much because they're getting hit nonstop with those tickets.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Lisa, for that information. Definitely, if you're able to get that contact information, we'll send it out to the group.
I'll speak to
All right.
some of my old friends and see if they have the direct number. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Welcome.
And we have a real nice, diverse crew from different, professional backgrounds. And
I have a question for Lisa.
go ahead.
Lisa, do you still work for the department?
No, I started working for the police department in 2019, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
started working for traffic back in 2012. So yeah, it's a
Okay.
difference. But I still have friends that still work there. I know supervisors. That's what I'm saying. I know, like literally, if you had call them, this is I used to do the front desk. I know if you to call them, they will dispatch somebody to those areas.
Got it.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything else, Brian? You're good.
Yes, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Marva.
Is she still there?
She probably running around with her kids. Marsha.
She's quiet.
Okay. All right. We seem like we're good. Karen, anything else before we close out?
Oh, I'm good.
Right. And again, the meeting is tomorrow. Matt, please look online, join that meeting, voice your concerns for the EST. It should be a collaboration. This is really for the benefit of the community. Public safety and transportation, it should be a collaboration because as mentioned on this call, a lot of the traffic concerns are related to public safety. So it should be a collaboration, but we'll see how it goes. But more importantly, voice your concerns, and it needs to be addressed. Janet, but you had something else before we close out?
Mark,
Yes, I do. I'd like to say, just 1 minute, Desmond, if you give me a minute. I sent an email out to everybody about safety for our seniors. I know that you received it, Mark, about getting some pepper spray for our community board, like the people did in Chinatown to give out to their people. And I know Regina responded, another of our committee people responded, and I see that you forwarded my concern to the community board about whether or not we could do something to help address the fear that our seniors are feeling when they go out in public. And I was just wondering if you got any response or if there's any information about that.
Okay, I did get a response. I thought they sent it out to the group, but I'm looking at it. They did not. I'll send it out to the group. It says if we can get an organization to purchase the pepper spray, we'll gladly distribute them.
So is that how the people in Chinatown did it? They had an organization that sponsored their pepper spray?
If my reading on that situation for Chinatown, it was a block association or organization that was not affiliated with the community board. They was the one who was able to organize that that purchase of the pepper spray and was able to distribute it to their residents in the area.
So the community board doesn't have any suggestions about what organization to approach?
Not on this email, not on the response. I'll shoot it back out to everyone.
Is there any way, Mark, you can then respond to them and ask them about how they could help? I mean, how they could help facilitate the movement of purchasing those pepper sprays, what organizations to contact? You know, how would we go about it as a community board to have this? If we think it's a good idea, then how do we move forward in making it a reality?
You know, I'll see what they say, but I think we also as a group need to, maybe we need to brainstorm it and see what organizations we have. I mean, we can get that information from them, what organizations they have. SOS, we have also the church organizations. We have some other, the youth organization. We're looking really for the elderlies, but we'll see if we can see what they say, get their feedback on what establishments they think that could help us out, and maybe we'll have to maybe we might have to do the legwork on it, work with the seniors committee and work together and see who we can what organization we can work with to get the funds and get the funding for it. And the community board says that they will be able to distribute it, but I'll reach out to them and see how we can proceed with that. Thank you, John.
Absolutely, and I think we need to probably make sure that the safety committee as well as the senior committee members are feel that this is a good idea. So that probably needs to be discussed too before we move forward. But absolutely, I think both committees need to come together. We need to do the legwork, we just need to get that on the move because time keeps passing by. We need to deal with it.
Yes, and as you said, just to make sure that they're, that they're in agreement that it is something that's worthwhile to do. So definitely, thank you, Janet, for that.
Yes, I know. I did get an email from Regina, and she feels that it's a good idea. It's the chairperson. But if we collaborate and come together, and identify some resources, then we can move forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a question, Lieutenant Polanco. Is it legal to have pepper spray?
Did he hear you?
Did you hear me, Lieutenant Polanco?
Yes, I heard you. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I have to. I think it's something with a certain percentage or something like that. I don't want to give you an answer and not be sure about it. So
it's something in it. It can't be something in it if I'm correct. I'm just remembering from when I asked a friend of mine to get me and they couldn't get it because of someone in the department said I can't get it because of the percentage or something like that. That's why I asked, was it legal?
Yeah. I'm gonna look into it. I don't want to give you an answer and I don't want to give you correct information. So I will look into it and I'll get you an answer on that.
Okay, thank you. Because if we get it, I don't want us to have something that's not legal.
Yes, and I don't want to tell you go ahead.
We can't use exactly.
Right, and I'm wondering then what is it that the people in Chinatown got that they publicized on the news? That had to be something legal, I would think, if they were distributing it. So there has to be something out there that's legal. That we can.
Why not reach out to those people in Chinatown, the community, and ask them? Because that would give you a straight answer.
Well, that's all part of us collaborating and then moving forward. Is to gather all this information, do our research, and then move forward. If we feel, that it's where we want to go with that.
I'm quite sure their information is on the website, and Janet, if you can, if possible, just touch base with them and see what they say, and then we have a foundation that we can start with, because then they'll give us a guide. I mean, maybe they could even give a guidance of what steps they did.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you very much on that one.
Okay.
Anything else, Brian?
Brian, no, I thought
Oh, I'm sorry, Desmond. Yes, Desmond.
I was going to get a chance to say, and I was deferred by Janet.
Okay, Desmond.
Go ahead.
Okay, Desmond.
Okay, so the problem with the safety, as far as the streets, could also be done by a petition and by using a GoFundMe. And I would imagine that if you do a GoFundMe for something like a self-protective device that met New York City and state requirements, somebody would be very happy to stipulate that, Janet. But the other problem is to get people to want to fund it. And the community board with its lists could help you coordinate that. That's just a suggestion. So, I mean, change.org and GoFundMe. But the same thing also about the congestion.
Ouch.
Because thing, and you have to remember that if we're looking at the displacement of traffic because of open streets, that was done in a good and orderly fashion by one end of the community. And they're going to say, well, we did this, and everyone was in favor of it. But I asked the question when it was being done, if it was so good for the western end of the community, why wasn't it offered to the entire community? But that just went out in one ear and out the other. So at this time, everyone can see that it presents a problem. So on those two tracks, there's definitely an operation. And GoFundMe and change.org a petition to present to the two city council person, Chia Say and Crystal Hudson, would definitely be necessary, and it would definitely need a large show of numbers, because the people who instituted the open streets, not for the restaurants, but so that their children could have a place to play, and that it serves a purpose. And the same issue got brought up in EST when they wanted to basically make Vanderbilt Avenue into one whole open street mall and stop all the traffic. And the major vendor complained because he said, I can't do business like that. That was a food town. So there are a lot of people making decisions for their own personal fantasies, but not thinking about the general use of the fact that this is a community of people from birth to death, and there are all different kinds of needs here.
Right.
So one end of the community needs to become more vocal and more organized.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Atkins, for that. In reference to the GoFundMe, something like that would have to be, we confirm with the community board to see if that needs to be a separate sponsorship or community board can support something like that. But the beginning of it is to see what steps was done with that other community, with that other organization. And then, then we can collaborate and see what's needed to be done on our side.
Hey, Mark? Hello?
Yes.
Hi, this is Sheriff again. I'm on the senior committee, and this was brought up. I can't remember when it was with the pepper spray, but it was advised that we reach out to the council people and that maybe they would pay for it. But you have to, come up with something, they would like, pretty much like numbers, how many people would need it, how many seniors, you have to go into detail with your council person, and maybe they would, put the bill for this. That's what was said in one of the meetings. Because I remember that was brought up at one of our senior meetings about the pepper spray, and someone suggested the council persons.
Okay, very good. Did they ever follow through with it or come up with
I don't know. I have to ask Regina if that was something that if her or Gail did. I'll ask them. Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good. I mean, if they come up with the details and what's needed to be done, and we do the preliminary footwork, let's see how we can progress from there. because it's extremely important to make sure that everyone is safe, and especially our seniors and our youth. Thank you for that. Anything else, anyone? Okay. All right, so we'll call it a night. Lieutenant,
Let's call it a night.
Lieutenant, thank you very much for participating. Our next meeting will be 4th Saturday. I mean the 4th. Look at me, I'm thinking about a Saturday already, right? The 4th, Monday, the 23rd of May, and also tomorrow, 6:15 on the community board website is the EST meeting. DOT will be at the meeting discussing the concerns in the Lincoln Terrace Park. Lieutenant Bianco, the DOT is going to be speaking about the concerns over in that area, because that's a extremely unsafe intersection over there by Eastern Parkway and Buffalo. So they're going to be discussing that at the EST meeting tomorrow, and I hope everyone voice their concerns about other issues, but that part right there, let them do that part. Address those concerns, because Sector D has a real problem in that area. Once that's taken care of, come together and voice your concerns about the other issues that we have within Community Board 8. Guys, we're gonna call it a night. 7:36. And thank you, Rogers, for that information. 7:36. We will call it a night for public safety.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Good night. Thank you, Mark.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Good night, everyone. Safe travel.
Good night.